My. How about the Chicago Sky, man? I'm talking to you about Angel Reese. I got a question for everybody now. Why does everybody want to coach Angel Reese all of a sudden? Why is everybody talking about Lisa Leslie coaching Angel Reese? And I mean, everybody wants to coach Angel Reese, right? But one of the things I told you guys from the start, Angel Reese is a good ball player, right? It's going to be a great ball player. And it's going to be a great wing in this league, okay? And I think the vision of everybody is trying to coach Angel Reese to be a post player. Okay, that's your number one mistake. That tells me, don't know basketball, right? Because Angel Reese is working out 3-on-3 for a reason. And what 3-on-3 really does, it tells you who the real hoopers are, right? Because anybody in the media can get on national TV and tell you somebody can play basketball. But at the end of the day, once you get on the court, you're really going to see who can really do what well, who can shoot it well. This is what 3-on-3 does, right? And it's going to let you know who can shoot it real well. Now you know who the shooters are, right? Then you're going to know who can create their own shot, right? Because these are things you got to do. You got to play a different game, right? So now that you see that, and then the other thing 3-on-3 Unrivaled really shows you is, well, who can defend, right? And who doesn't understand assignments? Because there's only 3 players on the court. So if you lose your man in 3-on-3, it's really a telling tale, right? But keeping it 100. And the reason I say this, and the reason Angel Reese and Angel, I always got your back, right? Because I've heard all these people talking about Angel Reese, right? But Angel Reese's game is going to get good. She's fine in the square. I mean, if you got a couple points it really isn't even a point because these guys are pros, right? The coaching staff that Tyler Marsh has, those are pros, right? Head coach coming in, previously coming out of Washington, those are pros, right? You don't got that in Indiana. You don't even got it close to Indiana. It's not even close going to happen in Indiana, right? So at the end of the day, you got to look at this thing differently and say to yourself, how are you going to win, right? How are they going to win with Chicago Sky? Because their coaching staff is so good. You got Parris, right? Parris is coming in there, going to help Camila Cardosa. So the reason I'm telling you all this, you're going to find more people, right? You're going to find more people who are going to start telling us how to coach Angel Reese. But when Angel Reese wasn't doing well, okay, Angel Reese was the bottom of the barrel. Now, once Angel Reese starts elevating her game, what's going to happen? People are going to start saying, well, hey, we could do this, we could do that, we could do this. Somebody brought up Lisa Leslie, and you know what? When I hear people that cover a team, right? You cover the team. That's like me. I cover the Niners, right? I cover the Kings. I like the Indiana Fever, but I don't try to get deep into the Indiana Fever roster, right? Because I'm not trying to be a beat writer for the Indiana Fever. I like Caitlin Clark, right? That's what I like about the Indiana Fever. And the best advice I can give Stephanie White, but she don't need no advice because she's the smartest coach in the world. It's Caitlin Clark. You don't need to touch her, right? I wouldn't even touch her. I got 5 other players, 6 other players, 7, 8 in the rotation I got to go work with. But Chicago Sky are going to have a great team. Because Chicago Sky are going to play good basketball. The negative report, I mean, you're talking about African Americans, right? So what's the deal, right? You got Caitlin Clark gets a stalker. Well, Caitlin Clark is a blessing to the WNBA. And you got Angel Reese as a godsend to the WNBA. Let me tell you why. That stalker, how they got caught, I tell you what, that one could have stopped a long time ago because I told you from AT&T, okay, anytime you turn over a criminal report, they're going to pull IP addresses, right? So now what Caitlin has done, for any WNBA player that has any stalking or anything like that, the only thing you got to do is go down and file a police report. The minute it turns into a criminal investigation, AT&T, Verizon, Boost Mobile, doesn't matter, Cricket, they got to open up the books and they got to pull all those records and they can identify the IP address off the phone, right? So your phone, you're really incriminating yourself when you send a message because they have that. They don't release it to the public because, I mean, let's be honest, my daughter, right? She goes to Shaw University, HBCU. She does 20,000 texts a month, right? So at the end of the day, nobody's pulling 240,000 text messages. But Caitlin solved that. And if they can catch that stalker, then they can catch the rest of the WNBA players. But let's get back to hand. Unrivaled basketball, right? More exciting to me than the WNBA. I like the WNBA. It's 5-on-5 and it's slow, right? And the other thing I'm gonna give you a little tidbit. I'm gonna let you in on a little bit in advance. The WNBA this will be the lowest scoring year that you'll ever see. Why? Is because they're going to be dead tired with their legs. There's no way you can play 100 basketball games, right? And people have arguments for me, but genetically, the men are built, their bodies are built to play 100 games. The women can't do it, but they're going to have to and you're going to see the scoring come down, down, down. Now, here's a final thing I'm going to tell you. With the WNBA and Arrival is they're going to have to figure out what they're doing, and really it's going to end up being either nobody's going to play basketball this year. If they don't play basketball this year, then is Indiana going to host the All-Star game this year, or we're going to fold and get the collective bargaining agreement? Because the price of the the price of the basketball has went up. Here's the deal: you got Kelsey Mitchell, you got all these point guards, right? Well, with Caitlin coming in being a point guard, here's what Caitlin's done, and it kind of happened, and it is the way it is. You can't change it now. Caitlin Clark's going to make the point guard position the highest paid position in basketball, right? So you got to look at that and say to yourself, do I want to be a friend? Do I want to be a teammate on somebody's team? Do I want to be a franchise point guard, right? Because that's the highest paid position in the NBA. It's going to be the highest paid position in the WNBA and wherever you play. But wrapping that up, I'll tell you this again. I had a great weekend down in San Francisco working 2 Out Radio, building in sports, working with the music artists, right? That was an outstanding experience for me. Today I had an opportunity to go over, you got the California High School Basketball Association, CIF's, California Intercollegiate Federation, can't even say it so work. CIF it's called, right? I had a Martin Luther King tournament, was able to go out there, interview some coaches. We'll be bringing that to you. Had an opportunity to jump on there and do some broadcasting. Picked it up in the second quarter, and life is good. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. All things are possible to those who believe. And I'm just telling you guys, man, Angel Reese, don't worry about that one. That one there is going to be first team. That one there is a ball player. You got to remember, Angel Reese did 13-13 last year, right? So at the end of the day, the only thing Angel Reese think can teach her now is when she goes up and does her shot or makes her layup, just slap the backboard, right? That's how I teach it. I'd say slap the backboard because you got to get the full elevation. We don't want it coming low. We want you to tap off the glass. That's pro basketball, right? But I think she's going to shoot it well. Angel Reese could shoot 40%. Angel Reese's ball handling is really good. What you see on the workouts now, folks, that's just a tidbit. Nobody's going to show you what they're really doing, right? Because why would we show you what we're doing when we actually got to go play you, right? But it's going to be a dogfight in the Eastern Conference. And why? Because everybody's talking so much. Now, final thing. Let's see where it goes. Are they going to play? They're going to do the All-Star game, Unrivaled, NBA. Which one do you like? Shoot me a comment, but at the end of the day, I like Unrivaled. I prefer 3-on-3, because at the end of the day, I can see who can play, right? You're not covered up. So, and you got some, in Indiana Fever, if fans, or if you hear this thing and you're worried about 3-on-3, don't worry about that, because nobody you have really is going to be great at 3-on-3. I mean, Leah Boston's killing in the paint, rather see her in the perimeter, because I know what she could do in the paint, right? And the only other player is Kelsey Mitchell, but she's in China. Caitlin's not playing, so that is what it is. But hope you enjoy it. Good to be back. Like I said, I got to cover up the NFC Championship game. We've got 2 Out Radio Sports coming your way. We got high school's games of the week. We're going to get some coverage in there. And this thing's just taking off. But nevertheless, I'll always tell you this. All things are possible to those who believe. And that's what Money Mike does, and the doors are starting to open. So we'll see you soon, WNBA. Love the game, and can't wait till it gets started. NFC, Jalen Daniels. Boy, I'm going to put out a story tomorrow. That's 4,000 to 1, folks. You know what? 4,001 in an NFL football game, that means you bet $100, you just won $400,000. Think about that, right? This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. We're powered up by Fanatics. We're bringing it to you like it's never been done before. We'll always tell you, often imitated, but never duplicated. We'll see you soon.